In general, what has been the reaction from your officers and fellow Marines when they learn that you're a disciple of Reverend and Mrs. Sun Myung Moon?
Yeah, at first they don't they have no idea who Reverend Moon is, and believe me, when you're walking post or you're out on a training mission or you're in a combat zone and you have to sit in a little tower and overlook a certain piece of land and make sure bad things aren't going on there, you naturally talk. You talk about politics, religion, and of course, obviously, my faith as a unificationist always comes up. I make it a point to bring it up because I'm a proud unificationist. I love Reverend Moon and Mrs. Moon, and I think they're amazing people. I think they've gotten the short end of the stick, so I'm kind of like on a mission from heaven to try and vindicate their names. I cannot stand the misrepresentation of them in American society, whether that be with my own mom and dad, whether that be with a bunch of jarheads or somebody on the street. So, yeah, at first they're kind of shocked that I could believe that there's a man on the earth who's claiming to be the Messiah. And I try to explain to them, well, maybe he is the Messiah, but you need to be the Messiah too. We all need to be like little mini Messiahs. Isn't that what Jesus called us to be Christ-like? So what's wrong with it? Get over it. It's not such a big deal. All right? It's not really about him anyway. It's about us and how we conduct ourselves on a daily basis. His ideas and his teachings are pretty much the essence of why I've been able to be successful in the Marine Corps. His example. I can't tell you how many times I've been on a god-awful hike and I thought about Hungnam prison camp. It's helped me. When I've been in Ramadi, funny story. Everybody in my unit knows that I believe Reverend Moon is the Messiah. The true parent of mankind, the Lord of the Second Coming. From General Mattis, I've had a chance to tell him, to my battalion commanders, to the lowest private. Everyone knows about it. So it's not like it's a problem. Everyone thinks, oh, well, there's the unificationist, and sometimes they call me worse things, but not to my face, right? I outrank them now, so they can't do that stuff. I guess my peers can, though. I'll take their chiding. So anyway, we're getting ready to go out on a mission, and standing by my Humvee, we already had our convoy brief, and all of a sudden these bullets start whizzing overhead, coming over the compound wall, and I dive to get inside my Humvee. It's an armored Humvee. Well, this other Marine dives to get into the Humvee, and we kind of collide mid-stride to get in the Humvee and fall on the ground. And then the shooting stops, and I look up, and I look into the eyes of my battalion commander, who is the single most highest ranking officer in my unit. He's like, he's top dog. And he looks at me, and he's like, well, Harding, what would Reverend Moon do in that situation? And I just kind of bust up laughing, like, why is this guy thinking about Reverend Moon? We just got shot at, and he's asking me, what would Reverend Moon do? In fact, a lot of the Marines call me Reverend, because I've been telling people about Reverend Moon. I actually got in trouble for doing this. I used to make the Marines get in formation. I'm a sergeant, right? So they're going to do what I say they're going to do. And this is how I would introduce myself to the Marines. Okay, everyone, platoon, 10, hut. All right, repeat after me. My name is Sergeant Harding, and the next 5 words that I'm going to tell you are the most important you're ever going to hear in the Marine Corps or in your life. The rest of this 4 years in the Marine Corps, or should you stay on to become a careerist, are just details. Repeat after me. Reverend Moon is the Messiah. And so they all have to sound off. Sergeant, Reverend Moon is the Messiah. And that's that. I got in trouble because, I'm not allowed to force my faith on Marines. And so I adjusted. I was like, Roger that, sir. I probably shouldn't be doing that. It's, you know, not morally right to force anyone's faith on somebody. So then what I would do is gather the platoon together and say, Marines, I want to share something here. If, in my humble opinion, and that's what I like to share with everyone else, in my humble opinion, Reverend Moon is the Messiah. Now I'd like to hear you repeat that. And they would do it. And I met an old Marine buddy of mine who'd gotten out, come back in the Marines, and now he's a sergeant. I went to go greet him at his camp. Well, as I was walking up to see, because when I knew him, he was a junior Marine, he was a private. Now he's a sergeant, right? He's top dog. Well, as I come close to his platoon, he snaps the platoon to attention and makes them sound off at the top of their lungs, Reverend Moon is the Messiah! And I was shocked. I was like, what is going on here? And I was like, all right, at ease there, Marines. You know, that's just my that's just a personal thing with me, you know. And I've had many officers and many Marines come up and ask me, who is Reverend Moon? I was like, well, you're not ready for that. You know, when you're stronger spiritually, come back and talk to me. Right now, you can't handle it, sir. Just go ahead and run your platoon. Or, hey there, Lance Corporal, just learn your weapon system. And if you really, really want to know who Reverend Moon is, come talk to me later. We can get into it. And I would ask anybody, if they really want to know who he is, come talk to me. I'm more than willing to talk about it. We may disagree, and that's fine. I've disagreed with many of my officers, but that doesn't mean I can't follow their orders and obey and do what I need to do as a Marine, whether it be in training or peacetime or in combat. Yeah, so yeah, it has shocked a few people, you know, but oh well, I mean, you know, that's who I am, and that's what I believe in, and it doesn't mean that it makes any walls or barriers between you and I. In fact, it encouraged me to break down the walls and barriers between you and I. Yeah, it's really simple. I'm proud to be a unificationist because I'm proud of what Reverend and Mrs. Moon have done. I don't know any other people on the earth at this time who have sacrificed more and brought down barriers between races and religions and have tried to prevent war and encouraged the development of families more than they have. That's why I'm proud. You know, it's not in who they are, it's what they've done. And I hope what I am doing now, serving as a Marine and serving this nation, America, can be a testament to me trying to want to be like them, you know. One of my personal best moments serving in the Marine Corps was not in combat. We were actually doing a humanitarian mission helping the people of the Philippines overcome a landslide which had killed many people. And we were, you know, setting up medical centers for them and rebuilding the roads and delivering emergency water and supplies. I think many times people just look at the Marine Corps as a bunch of killers. But Marines are not just killers. You know, they're somebody's son, they're a husband, they're a father, just like everyone else out there has those relations. And yeah, I just would like everyone out there to know that, you know, we have families as well, and we would like to, you know, not have to do the job that we do.
Yeah, okay. So on that note, Staff Sergeant Justin Harding, thank you so much for having been our guest today in the Defining Moment. It's really been a pleasure and an honor to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you. Semper Fi.
Thank you. You've been watching The Defining Moment for Creating the Culture of Conscience. You can find us on the internet at www.definingmoment.tv. Thanks for watching and have a great day.